Today on a Hangout, Masai delivers with a massive deal, Ibaka to Toronto. Also, All-Star Saturday night. Who you got, Aaron Gordon or Derek Jones? Plus, Cavs trade deadline. Is there a move on the way? We'll find out on Hangout. Basketball fans, welcome into the belly of the beast that is the Air Canada Centre. I am Akil Augustine, and it's almost All-Star break, which means this is our final show before all the festivities pop off in New Orleans Saturday night. To break it down, we had to bring out the best of the best when it comes to the Hangout crew. You know him, you love him. Dan Gladman, producer, Toronto Raptors broadcast, and fighting for equality today with the Nike family. Way to rep.
Believe in it 100%. Great campaign.
All right. A guy who's known for great campaigns all across Toronto, Mr. On Point Basketball himself, Drew Ebanks, a.k.a. Sputters.
We in this.
Yes.
Equality, that's what we stand for, and it's a perfect timing right now with everything that's going on.
Yes, absolutely. And we're so fortunate. His schedule has conflicts left, right, and center. He might be in Cali. He might be on tour. He might even be at the Grammys. But today he's on the couch. So much love, Tyrone T-Rex. What up, baby?
I mean, today you got to mention Mr. One Love, especially when we're rocking this equality.
Yeah.
It's always about one love.
Huge props to Nike. We'll talk more about this whole equality campaign later in the show. But first things first, the Raptors win in a must-win game. I shouldn't even say the Raptors. The Huskies win. But looking back, a huge come-from-behind fourth-quarter victory. But they are 5 wins in their last 16 games. So before we move on to the Ibaka's coming news and noise, we got to focus on this last stretch. Where does the blame fall? Drew, I'll start with you. Where does the blame fall for this last very poor stretch of basketball?
One word, defense. I mean, we've all played the game. We've all been around the game. You've got to play defense.
I want you to name names,
Number
though.
one.
Who's the guy? Is it on the coach who preaches the defensive philosophy on an offensive team? Is it on the stars of this team who, it seems, haven't bought in completely on the defensive end? Is there someone else to blame?
When you're playing as a team unit, you got to be on a string. Everybody's got to be in sync. They're not in sync right now. They're not willing to sacrifice their bodies in order to stop the guys on the other team. I'm not going to call out a specific player, but I'm going to say as a unit, they aren't getting it done. And if you want to be a successful squad, as you guys know, everybody's got to get it done, and everybody has to be willing.
Before we go to Dan, T-Rex, attempt to explain away the Raptors' woes.
Well, here's the thing. I think that for me, as a basketball player, I hate to blame the coach for what the players need to execute. But I gotta say, Coach Casey, I'm gonna give him a little jab there because I think he's partly to blame.
Make them accountable, right?
Make them accountable. But the other thing is like, when you trade away our toughness, and there's nobody to replace that toughness when it matters right now. It's like right now is a bit of a gut check before you actually get into the playoffs. And so you need somebody that's going to, spread that spirit of toughness throughout the team. And with like James Johnson gone, somebody like Amir Johnson gone, I don't see anybody really picking up the slack for that, and I think that's what's happening right now.
Little One Love TO plug for Amir Johnson and the family. No, I'm not hating.
Favorite Raptor.
I'm not hating. But here's my argument. I get the accountability, but sometimes I figure, has the message fallen on deaf ears? Is Dwayne Casey's message not penetrating this group as a whole, Dan Gladman?
Okay, first of all, I'm retiring the number 15 for Amir.
Wow, shots fired. That's been
Yikes.
Last year, when the Raptors got to the Eastern Conference Finals, who did we give the credit to?
Coach Casey? Kyle Lowry? Who did you give the credit to?
We
Tell
gave
me.
the credit to everybody,
The whole
to
team.
the team,
It's a team
Right.
to
game.
the coaching staff,
Yes.
to the players. So right now, I'm giving the blame
Everybody.
to the coaching staff and to the players. It's a team. Everybody's got to work together to get out of this. You guys have brought up some great points. Defense has to be better. They need to be tougher. Maybe they don't have the personnel to be tough right now. Maybe Serge Ibaka is going to bring a little bit of toughness. But right now, what the team does glaringly need, and it's within them because I've seen it happen before, is some mental toughness, some leadership, and that's what they need to do.
You know what? You made a good point, Dad. You think about last year, what was the difference, right? So as we get into the playoffs, and we get, and now this part of the season where it's like sort of that gut check to see who's ready, who's going to be ready.
That's January.
Well, who came alive? Do you remember who it was? toughness.
Oh,
We don't.
Biambo.
We don't have nobody to replace that right now.
Perfect segue to our next question, of course. With the struggles, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but of course something had to be done. Masai pulls the trigger on a blockbuster deal, sending Terrence Ross and I believe it's a protected first-round pick. It'll be the lesser of the two picks.
Clippers.
For Serge Ibaka, or Sergei Ibaka, as I've crowned him on Court Surfing. How far can this team go with Serge?
Well, I guess that's a perfect segue. As you said, we needed that toughness.
Yeah.
We needed that size. We needed somebody to really get JV playing some basketball, playing some tough basketball. When you see that sort of focused face, you know, that the only way he's going to do that is if there's somebody else like sort of close to taking his food, to getting his way.
Internal competition.
Internal competition. Honestly, it's human nature. You know, it's something that's needed.
JV's been playing well for the last 3 weeks, though, offensively.
Except when they won't let him play in the
But that's
Rock.
offensive.
Well,
We're
but-
talking about toughness, getting those extra shots.
Because you were talking
Not
about
allowing
defense.
the extra
But this
shots
is
from the other team.
Ibaka being there is going to make JV a better defensive player.
I think it's going to make him a better player all around because
Overall.
he's going to work harder.
In
A rising-
Masai,
I think he has been working hard.
A
The last
rising
several
tide lifts
weeks.
all ships, no?
In Masai, we trust. The bottom line is this man got it done again. I mean, what he gave up to get a guy of his caliber, really, you're talking a low, mid-20s or whatever pick, giving up T. Ross when you have Norman Powell, who actually, you know, checked basically T. Ross's play last season to say, hey, this is the way you got to play on both ends. And I think Ross had a chance to do that. But, you know, the fact that Masai can pull these deals off, it's just, wow, it's incredible.
Okay, so here's the question, though. He pulled off a blockbuster deal with just one piece in Terrence Ross, which means there are other pieces on this roster that have appeal. Is Masai Ujiri done making moves, Dan Gladman?
I don't know if he's done or not making moves, but he is certainly not done trying to improve the team, trying to improve the roster. So if there's another trading partner out there, if there's more personnel, you know, there's rumors of Danilo Gallinari coming over, which would give them a more perimeter offense and more size, which would help. No, I don't think he's done searching for the next move.
Are we
That
all in
doesn't mean
agreement?
there's
Let me
gonna-
ask this. Are we all in agreement that the area, like this team has 4 point guards, it's got like 19 centers. Are we all in agreement that it's going to be the 3 position, that if they do,
It's got to be, right?
It's got to be. It's got to be a 3. We need somebody that can defend at the 3.
Yep.
And be a part of the offense, not just like a one-dimensional player.
we need someone to do what we thought DeMar Carroll was coming in here to do?
Well, DeMar Carroll's been pretty good the past couple of weeks.
He's been,
he
yes,
picked
he's
it up.
He's come back
And
alive.
remember,
But
he played pretty darn hard last year.
And the
this
year
time as
before
well.
in the
And the
playoffs
year
with
be-
Atlanta.
yeah.
He's been to the conference finals 2 years in a row. That's a winning player.
Can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said the Raptors are what, 5 in the last 16?
Yeah.
5 and
Well,
11.
the one Raptor that's been playing well in the last 16-game stretch is Masai.
Quickly, can I ask this though? With the potential signing in the future of Ibaka because he's at the end of his contract, and with the signing of Kyle Lowry, does this spell the end of Patrick Patterson as a Toronto Raptor come this offseason, or do you see a way where they can bring him back into the fold financially?
If they got to sign all these players, they're definitely in luxury tax territory.
Even if they sign 2 of those
yeah,
guys, they're in luxury
exactly.
tax
I
territory.
mean,
Look, it's not the time to worry about the offseason right now. They are making a playoff run this year. You asked before, how far can they go? Why not back to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, I
To
think
the
it's-
NBA
it
Finals.
wasn't
That's
looking
what
like a
they're
likelihood.
going-
Dude,
but
that's what
they're
I
going
want.
for
As a-
today.
as
We
a
cannot
Toronto
worry
kid,
about
that's
the
what I
offseason.
want. Yep.
We cannot talk about the offseason until the last playoff game has been played. The offseason right now, next season, is irrelevant. It's all about the 2017 playoffs.
I
I'm
still
with Dan. I'm with Dan.
I
on
still
that.
think
Hey,
they're
hey.
one of the top 2 teams or 2 or 3 teams in the East. It's just they haven't put it together for most of the season. They
right.
have to get in sync, number 1.
And they don't have much time to do it.
They
And
gotta
with
get it
that said, we don't have much time. We got to go to break because we got more to talk
more
about,
time.
including this Saturday's All-Star festivities, including the 3-point contest, Kyle Lowry in the house, and also the dunk contest. Here's a look back at our boy T. Ross, former slam dunk champion, repping for the 6. We'll miss you, kid. We hope you enjoyed the sunshine out in Florida.